guys, welcome to another episode of the Jump In Podcast, episode number 7. I am LoganSama, your host, and as always, the three of us are here once more. Kim1234 joins us from Japan. Hello.
What up?
And Mr. ShadyK is joining us via satellite phone, I think, from California. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Can't see your mouse move, but it's all good.
What the okay. Whatever.
Shady's experiencing some technical difficulties, so just for this episode, though, it won't be like this later.
I mean, you guys are fine on my end. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Whatever.
Good, man. People can hear you, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to all the people that are listening to the podcast as well. Obviously, we are now available on iTunes and SoundCloud. If you didn't know, you can watch the videos on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/thejumpin. So check that out. Subscribe.
/C.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
/C/thejumpin, because it's a channel, obviously. Or just search for The Jump-In, no spaces, and it will come up in the list of channels on YouTube.
There's been a lot of good feedback. I love hearing it.
Capcom Pro Tour is rolling on. I think there's an event every week. And we just had our first ranking event in the UK, which was Hypespotting 5 in Glasgow. I was there. It was great fun. If you haven't checked it out, you can watch the archives on Twitch, twitch.tv/versus Scotland, VERSUS Scotland. And I think the Hypespotting top 8 is on YouTube as well, if you want to watch that. I was on commentary with the janitor from Glasgow. There were some interesting comments about his accent, but it was good fun commentating. And we had some great sets as well. Problem X took it, proving once again that Bison is the best character in the game, without any doubt or disagreement.
I agree. Wholeheartedly.
You guys want this to be a two-man show? Then it could be a two-man show, okay? As long as this podcast is about real opinions. I know this is a nice good old troll and everything, but Bison's not the best. Problem X is the best. How about that?
Listen, Europe has been showing you guys how to play dictator for years now. Gagapa, Phenom, good stuff. Just take some notes.
Two guys.
Play real dictators. Europe knows about real dictators.
By the way, I'm talking about the fighting game community. It's the only community where you have to play down how good your character is. And no other community is like that. No other community is like, oh yeah, my character sucks. It's like, what the fuck, you're an idiot then, because this is your job. Why are you like bringing a knife to a gunfight if this is how you make a living? Fighting game community is the only community where it makes excuses about the character they pick. It's like, alright, that doesn't make any sense. Like, if I don't know,
I would say over half say that. That's
a very British sensibility. So I find it hilarious. Like downplaying so much. But yeah, I don't understand why people pick characters they know suck. Like, they know that they suck.
Exactly.
They don't rationalize it like that. Like, there's definitely a lot of people stray away from the number one best character in the game. First of all, it's a challenge not to use the best character. You want to be real. You know what I'm saying? Be real. Win with your skills, not
That's stupid. I don't give a shit. That's so fucking dumb. If this is your goddamn job, fucking pick the best tools for the job.
No, I'm just saying that's what a lot of people,
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying that mindset is retarded. No, that shit upsets the shit out of me. Like, that makes me so.
We don't have any sponsors, Shady. Thank you.
No, the best part is a screen cap right now on your camera. It's the best. Like, you can't see it, but you will see it. It's the best.
Okay.
So it's the challenge, and I don't know why they do it. Like, I don't do it because I want to be a low tier god. I play whoever fits my style. It's hard to define. It's hard to explain what your style is and how people come to that conclusion. But I play whatever is my style. If my style is the best, then I'm even happier. That's just it. Most people, they just right now, there's not a lot of Chun-Li's I've noticed in America, because I think at first the general consensus was she's the best, and now I think people are leaning towards Ryu now. So there might be more Chun-Li's and less Ryus. Like that's my prediction right now.
I've noticed that in America, where people like actively avoid characters they think are like not the best, but like cheap, I guess. Like no one played Abel for years. No one played Abel for years. Like, and I went to New York in 2010, I think it was, when Super came out, just before Marvel came out. Okay. And everyone in New York could play Abel. Everybody, but like no one played him in tournament. I was like, why don't you play him? Like, his character's cheap. So why don't you play him then? Like, but actively avoiding. Like, there was no Yuns apart from like Cien in America as well. When Young was like super good. You guys didn't have any Fei Longs for forever. Like, you had like one Fei Long. What was that guy's name?
Pierre Rog.
No. Like the first Fei Long white guy played on a pad, like shaved head. What was his name?
White guy played on a pad?
I don't remember at all.
From what
There was a...
That was like in the Wolf Crone era.
CJ Truth played Fei, that little kid.
Yeah, not the kid. He was good as well. Like, he didn't have enough like overpowered character use.
Do you know what region?
In that damn
East Coast.
No, I think no. The most criminal example of that is there were no Akumas. Yeah. But then Akuma's kind of hard to play if you don't have a lot of practice.
Akuma's like slightly excusable, except like a top player should be able to play Akuma, because a top player truly studies the game. I think that is very odd.
You had like 3 Rufuses in the country and no Akumas. It was
Street Fighter 4 was vanilla characters, even in Ultra. Everyone's playing vanilla characters. It's silly.
Yeah, it's true. Everyone has the stupid character loyalty thing.
Is that it, or is it just laziness? I don't know.
It's probably just laziness and that. I don't know.
Oh dear. But yeah.
Good job, Problem X. Proud of you, boy.
All right.
Luffy
so he actually ended up beating Luffy in grand finals, which was interesting because Luffy struggled with, I think he was using Nash at Cannes Winter Clash in France earlier in the season. I'm not sure if I wasn't there. I didn't make that one. I was working. I think he got out of pools, but he didn't like place.
He didn't. Kindavu and Luffy and Venom were in the same pool. Venom got out and losing. Yeah. It was a rough pool for sure. But I think he almost beat Kindavu in winners. So he could have made out in winners in pools. But I mean, that's after the fact. No one's going to remember that it almost happened or whatever. I mean,
should have.
He played Fang at the time, but I saw him at the arcade today. At the arcade, he uses Laura now, of course.
Okay. Not enough Laura's as well. She's a fucking good character.
Yeah.
I think
especially in out of 5.
I think people kind of stray away. They naturally want to use the simple, strong characters. I mean, maybe not strong, but the simple characters, easy to get. I think Laura is a bit complicated. She kind of.
What's complicated about Laura is getting the knockdown in the first place because her footsies suck ass. Other than that, she is like flowchart upon flowchart of meat.
She's essentially Makoto. It's very, very accurate. It's very similar. She just goes ham.
Her movement is complex, so I think that's where that discourages.
Yeah. And it's not intuitive how to use her fireball, if in a neutral game at least.
Yeah. But man, does she hit hard.
Everyone hits hard in the...
I met Afi. So Afi got like 5th or 7th or something like that. Do you recall?
Hypespotting...
He lost to Valmaster. Valmaster got 4th. Yeah, so maybe it was right before that, right?
I can't remember if it was 5th. I think it was 5th. Yeah, he lost to Valmaster's Nakali. Because apparently a lot of the setups don't work on Nakali that he was using. And he couldn't deal with his neutral jumps as well.
That's the move of the game right there, man.
So yeah, I know he was pretty pissed with himself going out to Valmaster. But yeah, did all right, did good. Of course, we had Mr. Crimson as well, who won Winter Clash with Laura. She's a good character, man. I think all the characters are good in this game.
Did that guy join any other tournaments since winning?
There haven't really been a lot. They have stuff like going on in Lyon, which is where he's from, in France. We've got Red Bull Kumite coming up, so I would imagine we'll see him there. That's in Paris, end of the month.
End of the month.
It's going to be.
I was thinking this week or something. That'll be fun. I loved the presentation last year.
Oh, it was amazing, incredible. I watched it on the stream because I was working, but it was incredible, and I'm looking forward to it this year.
Hopefully, it's not just a repeat of good ideas. I mean, I would like to see some new stuff as well. I like that after you lose, it's not just the peace, get out of here. You know, like I remember SBO was like, you lose, that's it. You don't like you have to shamefully give your press pass to like the guy on stage, and then walk towards the crowd. The winner goes to the backstage where there's like fucking food and everything.
The walk of shame.
Exactly.
Good shit. We need more of that. I
Walk
love
of shame
that
for
stuff.
Red Bull Kumite is a little bit different. It's like it's kind of cool.
You got to like unlock the fucking door and put your all kinds of stuff. It's kind of weird.
It's a
But
really
yeah, it's a great venue as well. The venue's fucking awesome as well. It's like massive theatre. So yeah, pretty cool.
Are you going this year? Are you able to?
Sorry?
Are you going this year?
Oh yeah, I'll be there this year. So yeah, be good. But yeah, we keep getting off the topic. But yeah, hype spotting. So yeah, Luffy was using Armika now because he loves boobs, basically.
That is actually true for the people that aren't in the know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The tits guy.
Yep.
He's definitely a titties guy. Tig old biddies.
Professional podcast, guys.
No, it's not.
Whatever, man.
When's my paycheck coming through, Kim?
I know,
Holding
it's like,
Well,
it's paper.
money and not telling us.
Well,
Where
it's like $3.17 if you want to go to YouTube, whatever it's
Fucking
called.
baller over here.
we haven't had 3,000 views. What are you talking about?
I think it's
Total.
$3.17 or something. I remember that number for no reason.
It was good, man. It was good. It was good. It was a good event. It was a good top 8. We saw some really good play. Some solid chuns in there as well. Rise Brian was good with the chun. He was getting most of his stuff off. I like it when I see people finish combos with medium spinning bird kick. That's always a good sign. And Real Menace, who's like a talented UK Tekken player. And he did use Rufus in Street Fighter 4, but he was using Chun, and again, he was playing pretty solid. He had a really good match with Problem X as well.
Closest, was he the closest to beating him? I know it was either 3-1 or 2-1.
Yeah, he went 2-1 up. Yeah. So if it was best 2 out of 3, you'd have lost. Yeah. But yeah, he's a talented player. He always has been.
Yeah, I was telling you this earlier, but looks like UK has a lot of promising new players. I didn't know these names before, even in Street Fighter 4.
I think that's more a problem of the fact that just the FGC community, the worldwide community, is basically American media paying attention to Japanese and Asian players. So like Europe kind of gets lost, and it's like you have Ryan Hart and Ali Yoon, and then Luffy won Evo, so people know Luffy now. And outside of that, people are not really paying attention to what's going on, and that's why we kind of do this podcast, because we're representing the different regions and talking about what's going on. And there's some really talented players here. We might not have the composure and the tournament experience that a lot of the guys have in America and Asia, but like we've got some incredibly solid, creative young players that have come up with some really good stuff. You know, they know what they're doing. It's a new generation, so they're not just approaching it on a, I just want to win and keep stuff to myself mentality. Like they're all working together. It's been great to see all the young guys in the UK Street Fighter 5 scene sort of working together in sort of like groups and stuff. Like we've had WhatsApp groups for years, so this whole Discord thing's very funny because we've been talking together and working together for ages, and it's nice to see the guys stepping up and starting to travel a bit more as well now. So.
It's kind of ironic because when I think of the European scene, the first thing I think of is you guys hold really good events from the community.
Yep.
Made by the community, from the community, and like the presentation is, I mean, aside from Evo, I would say that it's better than American presentation, because usually like CEO and stuff like that, CEO is an exception actually, to be honest. But other majors, I mean, it's just top 8. You see the match, and then an interview at the end with James Chen at the table, and that's about it, right? I see Europeans are always trying to do something new, you know.
Well, we have a good pedigree in like streams. James Bardolph with Arms House was the guy that I started working with on our Winner Stays On weeklies, and we were always innovating new stuff, trying to use like action replays, which you saw in like the infamous Gandhi video at DreamHack. There's loads of stuff that we're trying to do, always trying to implement and change and improve. We are fortunate in that we have different organisations here in Europe, like DreamHack, which is an enormous esports event, and it's been going on for years. We kind of like just bolt onto that, so we have access to a lot of their stuff, or things like the Red Bull Kumite, which is coming up, and Red Bull have got limitless marketing budgets to spend, so it always looks great. And at the same time, we've got great community events like the Hypespotting guys. There was a bit of controversy about the stream and stuff going down and Street Fighter 5 Top 32 not being streamed. But the actual event and the venue was incredible. The vibe in there was great. Everyone had a really good time. And for the most part, it was excellent. So, yeah, I mean, we are very fortunate in that regard. It's just the number of events. And I guess we're spread out as well because, different countries. It makes it more difficult to travel than it does in the States because you've got your internal domestic flights are way different from us flying, from country to country or getting the Eurostar across Paris. But the events that we do have are great, so if we can get to them, they're always good.
So people out there, tweet your favorite European player and tell them that they're relevant, and not just Luffy. Luffy, Luffy, Gagapa, who's the other guys that you said again?
Like Reinhardt and Problem X, of course, are well known. But we've had good players for years, like Andreas and F-Word were really talented SF4 players. Andreas was a player that got noticed using his Rufus playing against, the Japanese. They noticed him. Of course, Zach Bennett was a guy that was doing stuff early on. In SF4, and then with Marvel as well, and he got out there, very innovative player, and he's still relatively young as well, so doesn't really get involved as much anymore because he's doing so well with his work. But we've always had a pedigree of like good young players coming through, and it's continuing. We've got guys like Pax and Hurricane, who are both very talented. Affy, who we mentioned before. And guys, across the country that are doing stuff, and new guys coming through Street Fighter 5 as well. Brian, who came third, losing to Luffy in losers final at Hypespotting, is a Scottish player, and he's done really well in this new version of the game.
Pretty good. I kind of feel that the tournament experience overwhelmed him. But I think I can kind of see it as they were playing Problem X and Luffy as they were playing him. They just felt more comfortable, more seasoned in those situations, and he was kind of just playing his own game. He wasn't he wasn't tripping too much and making like bad decisions, but he didn't like push it hard enough. If that makes any sense. Like Problem X and Luffy, they knew what the situation was. They knew that remain calm and whatever. They knew that like maybe they adapted better than he did. And that's probably why
I said that about Real Menace as well. Actually, when he was playing, for guys like Problem and Luffy being on that stage in front of 500 people that were watching at the time, playing for top honors, that's nothing new to them because they've been doing it for years across Europe and across the world. In fact, Problem and Luffy both were at the CPT finals in December and did really well, but. For these other guys, maybe being in those situations they're not as comfortable in those situations, and it does affect their thought process. And I think that maybe is the main weakness of Europe as a territory, as a region. Just the mental fortitude, the composure in those situations. But that's something you can only really build up with experience. And the guys are traveling a lot more. We've got the CPT event, so they're attracting more players, and they're just more attractive to want to spend the money and time to travel to. So the guys are leveling up and improving all the time, and should be great.
I have a question for Long, since me and Long are dinosaurs in this community.
What?
do you remember like the first time you realized that you weren't that nervous anymore in tournaments? Like I kind of vividly remember it. I don't know.
Really?
It used to be, yeah. For me, it used to be like an issue. Like I'd care who my opponent was, and I would be like, oh, I don't want to choke at this moment or whatever, right? But I remember when it all went away.
I don't distinctly remember. I think I've always been nervous,
Yeah, I mean, you're always nervous
but
to a point, but
it didn't really affect me that much. I knew I was nervous, but it didn't really affect me because of my play style. Because it was very like automatic. You know, I could be nervous, but I can still do the same stuff. I don't care. I'm still gonna cross up Tatsu. I don't give a shit. But yeah, I see what you're saying. I think
it just goes away. I mean, it's not like, in all honesty, Problem and Luffy, I mean, I don't think they're going to admit that they're like really nervous. I mean, maybe that's your opinion of how they are, but no one in their right mind is going to say, yeah, I get too nervous right now or something like that. I think they have too much experience where they should just be over that, you know?
Also, I think it's just Street Fighter 5. It's just too hard to tell if someone's nervous. It's just a hard ass game. Like,
I think top players look like scrubs. A lot of top players look like they don't know what's going on. You know?
Yeah.
At this moment right now, like everyone looks like a fool at some point or another.
What I see mostly is people are way too respectful. You know, they're too like hesitant. They're not doing what they should be doing. They're not being aggressive enough. That's what I see. I don't really attribute it to nerves. I just attribute it to like, oh shit, like, is this real? They're not sure enough just because they haven't played the game long enough because the game is new. That's what I see, at least.